Okay, this is part 2 of elimination. I'm going to show you how when you don't have a common coefficient to start, you can force it so that you do have one. All right, so number 1 here, I'm going to skip around. This is number 1 in the second part of this. So I don't have any common coefficients, but I do have a coefficient of 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that entire equation and multiply it by 2, so then your x's will have a common coefficient. So if I multiply everything by 2, my new equation is 2x everything plus 6y equals 12. And then underneath that, I'm going to put 2x minus 7y equals -1. Okay? To make this easier on yourself, you could have multiplied by -2, then you could just add. But I'm going to subtract and change all the signs. So now I can eliminate my x's, and I have 6y and 7y together is 13y, and then 12 plus 1 is 13. So now we're going to divide by 13, so y is 1. Okay, so I like to use the one I didn't change just so there's no confusion. So I'm going to plug the y into that second one. 2x minus 7 times 1 equals -1. So I have 2x minus 7 equals -1. I'm going to add 7 to both sides, so I have 2x equals 6 now, and I'm going to divide by 2, so x is 3. So my solution is 3, 1. Okay, number 2, I'm looking for a common coefficient. It's easy when you have a coefficient that's 1 because you just need to multiply by the coefficient. This time I'm going to use -3 because then I can just add them. So let me copy this again so we keep everything straight. When I multiply everything by -3, I get -6x minus 3y equals -15. And because this made the signs opposite, they just cancel and I can add. So 9x and -6x is 3x. 12 minus 15 is -3. We're going to divide by 3, so x is -1. Now I'm going to put this into the one that I didn't change. So 9 times -1 plus 3y equals 12. So I have -9 plus 3y equals 12. I'm going to add that 9 to both sides. So now I have 3y equals 21. And I'm going to divide by 3, giving a y coordinate of 7. So I have -1, 7 as my response. Okay, so I have 2 more. So these get a little tricky. This is number 9, so we're skipping. So these you actually have to multiply both of the equations to get to something. So you could either multiply the top one by 7, the bottom one by 5, or you could do multiply by 10, multiply by 9. I'm going to try to keep the numbers smaller. So I'm going to multiply this whole thing by 7 and this whole thing by 5. So let's rewrite. 7 times 5x is 35x. 7 times 9y is 63y. And 7 times -10 is -70. Don't forget any of them. You got to multiply the whole thing. So 5 times 7x is 35x. 5 times 10y is 50y. 5 times -1 is -5. Make sure everything's lined up. These have the same sign, so I have to subtract. Change all the signs here. So I can eliminate my x value. And I have 63y minus 50y will give me positive 13y. And then negative 7, negative 70 plus 5 will give me negative 65. Then I'm going to divide by 13, and y is negative 5. So I guess really it doesn't matter which one you plug into. I'm going to go to the top. So 5x plus 9 times negative 5 instead of the y. Make sure you're plugging into the right variable. It's a common place for errors. 5x minus 45 equals negative 10. I'm going to add that 45 to each side. So I have 5x equals 35. I'm going to divide by that 5, and x is 7. So my solution is 7, negative 5. Okay, last one of these. So everything's not lined up. Those equal signs are not lined up. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to rearrange this, and I'm going to bring that y over to the other side. So now I have 2x minus 4y equals 18. And I'm going to have negative 5x minus 6y equals 3. And you know what? I like to keep this small. So I'm going to multiply this by 5 and this one by 2 so that I can eliminate my x's. So now I have 10x minus 20y equals 90. And here I have negative 10x. Look how nicely that works out. Minus 12y equals 6. Okay, x's are canceled. I have negative 32y equals 96. So if I divide by negative 32, I get y is negative 3. So I'm going to plug this into the original. Let's go all the way up here. Okay, so I have 2x equals 4 times negative 3 plus 18. So I have 2x equals negative 12 plus 18. 2x equals 6. If you're going to divide by 2, x is 3. So our solution is 3, negative 3. So those examples where you have to multiply both of them take a little longer, but you can get there. And you may not get there the same way as the person sitting next to you. There are multiple options. All right, time to practice.